Okay, so welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving deep, really deep, into the fascinating world of quantum computing.
Oh, this is exciting.
It is. And you know what makes this deep dive even more interesting? Our source material. We're looking at this article. It's called, get ready for this, 2025, the year quantum computing goes mainstream.
I've seen that one, yeah.
Yeah. And it's making a pretty bold claim, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's saying that this year, quantum computing is going to make a big splash, no longer just a thing in labs and research papers.
It's really remarkable how fast things are moving, right? For
Yeah.
years, it did feel like quantum computing was this far off, almost sci-fi concept.
Totally. But this article, it really lays out how 2025 could be, well, the year. The year it all
It's
changes.
exciting to think about, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things the article dives into that I found so fascinating was the whole diamond thing.
The diamonds.
Yeah, diamond-based quantum systems. They're apparently kind of a game changer.
They are. They are. Diamonds, because of their unique structure, they're turning out to be perfect for hosting qubits.
Okay, stop right there for a sec. Qubits, remind us what those are again?
Right, of course. Qubits, they're like the basic building blocks of quantum computers. They're what give these computers their incredible power.
So diamonds are good for making these qubits, and why is that such a big deal?
Well, think about it this way. Traditionally, quantum computers needed these massive cooling systems, right? They had to be kept at super low temperatures. But with these diamond-based systems, no need for all that.
They can just like work at room temperature.
Exactly. No more giant, super cooled mainframes taking up entire rooms. That's a huge obstacle removed, especially if we're talking about making quantum computing more, you know, practical.
Portable too, right? Like imagine a quantum computer you could carry around.
And that's not even science fiction anymore. This article, it mentions how Germany's cyber agency just awarded a contract for the world's first mobile quantum computer. That's a huge GE sign that things are moving in that direction, towards practicality and portability.
Wow, a mobile quantum computer. It's like, remember those old pictures of computers taking up entire rooms, and now we have smartphones?
That's a similar evolution, yeah.
So cool. Okay, but mobile quantum computers, what are they good for? Like, what could we actually do with them?
Oh, the possibilities are, I mean, almost limitless. Think about it. GPS-free navigation. It could work even where you don't have satellite signals.
Whoa.
Or imagine medical imaging using these super sensitive diamond quantum sensors, detecting diseases way earlier than we can now.
That would be incredible.
And even things like, geophysical surveying, finding resources, understanding the Earth better, all revolutionized by these portable quantum devices.
Okay, mind officially blown. It's like, I'm starting to see why this article is so hyped about 2025. But there's another comparison they make that I thought was super interesting. They talk about quantum computing having its own ChatGPT moment.
Ah, yes. Like the AI explosion we saw last year.
Exactly. They're saying something similar could happen with quantum computing. Do you think they're right? Like, is that really possible?
Well, let's look at the evidence, right? This article points out some big milestones that happened just in 2024. Google, for example, they made some serious breakthroughs in quantum error correction.
Hold on, error correction. I'm not sure I fully get what that means.
It's a key thing to understand. You see, one of the biggest challenges with quantum computers is that qubits, they're very sensitive. They can be affected by, even the tiniest disturbances, which leads to errors.
And those errors mess up the calculations.
Exactly. So error correction, it's all about developing techniques to mitigate those errors to make the computations more reliable and stable.
So Google's getting better at doing that.
Yes, much better. And not just Google, there are other companies like Oxford Ionics, for example. They've been hitting record performance levels with their qubits.
Wow, so it's like the tech is getting better and better, faster and faster.
Yes. And because of that, the focus is shifting. It's no longer a question of if quantum computing will work, but when it will be readily available and deployable on a larger scale.
And that shift in focus, it's not just among scientists, right? I mean, the article mentions how when Google announced their Willow quantum chip, their market cap went up like, what was it, over $100 billion?
In just a few hours.
Yeah. That's a pretty strong signal that investors are starting to see the real world potential, right?
Absolutely. Investors are paying attention. Big organizations are eager to jump in and explore how they can use this technology.
Okay, so everything sounds amazing, super exciting.
Mm.
But the article does mention, some bumps in the road, some challenges ahead.
Right, of course. Every new technology has its growing pains. And for quantum computing companies in 2025, one of the big ones is proving that their systems can work reliably outside those controlled lab environments.
Makes sense. It's one thing to have it work perfectly in a lab, but out in the real world, things get messy.
Exactly. And it's not just about making it work, it's about making it reliable, making it scalable, and making it user-friendly.
User-friendly, that's a good point. So do you think we're all going to have to become quantum physicists to use these things?
Not at all. I love how this article puts it. They compare it to smartphones, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to understand how microprocessors or cellular networks work to use our
It's
phones.
very true.
And quantum computing, it's headed in that same direction. As the technology matures, we'll have more user-friendly interfaces, platforms that make it accessible to, well, pretty much everyone, even without a PhD in physics.
That's a relief. But okay, let's talk about what we can actually do with this technology. What kind of real-world advancements are we expecting to see, like in this coming year?
Well, one area where the article anticipates a lot of progress is in hybrid and parallel quantum computing. This is where quantum computers are used alongside classical computers to solve really complex
It's
problems.
like teamwork.
Exactly. It's like combining the raw power of quantum computation with the versatility of classical computers, a real power couple.
Got it. Okay. Can you give us an example? Like, how would this hybrid approach actually work?
Sure, imagine a pharmaceutical company trying to develop a new drug. They could use quantum computers to simulate like super complex molecular interactions, to find promising drug candidates much faster.
Wow. Okay.
And then they could use classical computers to analyze all that data and design clinical trials. It's a perfect synergy. And there are already some amazing partnerships happening. The one between Oak Ridge National Laboratory and a quantum computing company is a great example.
Collaboration is key. That's cool.
It really is.
So it really does sound like, like this article says 2025 is going to be huge GE for quantum computing.
I'm convinced. I think this is the year it finally breaks out of the lab and starts making a real difference in all kinds of industries. Healthcare, finance, materials, science, aerospace, you name it.
That's wild to think about, really. We're living in the future, folks. And before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. If you could have quantum computing solve any everyday problem, what would it be? Think about it, and until next time, keep exploring.